Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be another one all about the Disney College program, but this time we're going to be talking about the second phase of the application process, which is the web-based interview, or as you'll probably hear me reference throughout the video, the WBI. So like I just said, the WBI is the second part of the application process. So if you submitted your application and it was successfully reviewed and thought appropriate to move forward by the Disney College Program recruiting team, then you will receive your invite to take the WBI. The WBI is pretty much just a way for the recruiters to see if the person that you think you are or your personality traits would line up with having a job working in Walt Disney World or Disneyland. So this is really just another way for the recruiters to see who you are. And the thing about the WBI is that you are immediately going to find out whether or not you passed. So you do not have to wait. Like I said before, if you watched my first video, which is all about the application itself, it's kind of a waiting game throughout the whole process. This is the one thing that will be very fast-tracked. If you do get to take the WBI, then you will find out at the end of it right away whether or not you have passed. So you will either get the email that says, congratulations, you have been chosen to move on, you successfully passed, or it will say, sorry, unfortunately, the traits that you described are not what we're looking for in one of our future cast members. So you'll get one of those two prompts at the end of the video, or I'm sorry, at the end of the video, at the end of the interview, and that will kind of let you know how you did. So just like the video about the application, I am going to be referencing some of my notes written down here on my phone. Also, just like the application video, I just recorded that yesterday actually, and I am still sick, so that is why I look the way I do. I have a hat on, but it's a cute little Mickey hat at least. And I am still just really sick, so I apologize. So the WBI is honestly just a personality test. It really is just gonna ask you questions all about yourself, about who you are. It's gonna be like it's not like a fill in the blank. It's going to be either like a multiple choice question where they give you a question and then they give you different ways that you could possibly answer it, and then you have to pick which option you think fits best with what you would do. And then there's also another portion of the interview where it rates what you think or how strongly you agree with a phrase or a statement. So it might say something like, I am a people person, and you can either say strongly agree, moderate or neutral, disagree, or strongly disagree. So that's that type of question. But then like I said, there will be another question where you have kind of a multiple choice option, and it might say something like, I don't know, what would you do if a kid was crying? And it might be like, A, walk away, B, go up and comfort him, C, give him a free toy, or D, call the parent. So like there's really like no wrong answer. It's kind of just picking which option you think would be something that you would actually do in that scenario. So don't think too much about the questions. I mean, honestly, it really is just about your own personality, about what you actually think you would do or how you would handle a certain type of situation, or which statements you actually do agree with. Honestly, a lot of them are pretty simple or standard phrases. I mean, if it says something like, you know, I work well with others, then, I mean, you probably should work well with others if you're gonna have a job at a place like Disney. So this isn't me telling you how to answer, but it's just kind of simple things to keep in mind. This is kind of just my way of reiterating to you that you don't want to overthink the questions. So really a lot of them are very standard, very straightforward, very to the point. So keep that in mind. It's not there to trick you. A lot of them are really just that simple. One thing that a lot of people do find tricky about the WBI though is that you will probably notice that they will ask you the same questions just in a different way. So a lot of times they will reword the same question, and a lot of people believe that they do this to see a consistency in your answers. So this is kind of a way that people believe they will be able to tell if you are lying, because if it says, I am a people person, and you put strongly agree, and then it says, I work well with others, and you put strongly disagree, that doesn't really add up. So you should just be honest. The best way to avoid kind of falling into one of those mishaps is just being honest with your answers. Yeah, of course you want to put what you think Disney wants to hear, but like, don't do that. Like I said, a lot of it makes sense, but if you're unsure, don't put what you think Disney wants to hear. Just put your honest opinion. Just put like what you honestly believe, and that is the best way to avoid any type of inconsistencies. So one tip that I do believe is very helpful is to use the strong answers. So I'm gonna keep probably using the same example, but if it says I am a people person, then instead of just putting agree, I would recommend putting strongly agree. This shows that you are very confident in your answer, that you know who you are, and that you are pretty sure of the type of person you are, and that your personality would work well with Disney. So it really just shows a confidence that is very pertinent to being a cast member. If it says something like, I hate working with people, then you might want to put strongly disagree. So it's just kind of the same thing there, just on both ends of the spectrum. You really want to choose the stronger options because it does just show a confidence, like I said. Now, some people say don't choose a strong option for every question because then people believe that that makes it obvious that you're just trying to say what you think Disney wants to hear. There's really no way of knowing if that's actually true or not. Since you do find out whether or not you pass right away, clearly this interview is being determined from an internal type of system. So, I mean, it's not like a recruiter is watching you take the WBI and, you know, seeing your answers. It's all just kind of system generated. So, I mean, yeah, you might not want to put strongly for every answer if you don't think it's actually strongly, but I do believe that you should put the stronger options for most of the questions. Now, with that being said, there are some questions that you might actually feel neutral about or that you might not strongly agree with, and that's okay. Like, you can choose the neutral option or you can choose just the agree or disagree option. That is totally fine. Like, I know that when I took my WBI both times, I definitely had a fair amount of neutral and just agree or disagree options that I put forward as my answer. I mean, I really just put what I honestly felt, but for the most part, I did choose the stronger options. But like I said, especially kind of referring back to the application video, it really does just come down to you being honest with yourself and just putting what you actually believe. That's really just the best way to avoid any type of mishap or inconsistency, and it honestly just shows the true type of person that you are. Now, one of the biggest things about the WBI that kind of freaks a lot of people out is the fact that it is timed. So with the interview, it's kind of broken up into a few separate categories, and each category has a time limit. So I know that there are some times where like each question is timed. I don't know if there's ever a time where each category is timed as a whole, but I know that in general, the interview is timed. So this can kind of freak a lot of people out, and it kind of causes a lot of people to overthink it because the timing aspect of it kind of gets wrapped around their mind and they can't get around it. But please, honestly, do not let that get the best of you. They give you literally so much time. Like, you have more than enough time to answer the question. Don't stress out about that. There should be nothing about that that freaks you out because honestly, like, there is plenty and you will be fine. So I know that that can be kind of nerve-wracking for some people because, you know, if you're not a great test taker or something, then having a timing aspect of it can kind of really throw you off and it might make you rush through and you might not fully read through a question. Don't do that to yourself. Fully read through, thoroughly look at each answer, especially for the multiple choice ones, because there could be some answers that might seem like they're similar. So just give yourself enough time. Believe me, it is there for you. Even though it is timed, you will be okay. There is plenty. And just thoroughly read through each question. Actually really read through each possible answer that you can choose from and choose which one you actually think works best for you. As I mentioned, at the end of the interview, you will find out right away whether or not you passed. And then after that, if you did pass, you'll move forward to the final stage of the application process, which is the phone interview. So the web-based interview is the first time that you actually get to kind of show who you are, besides just putting down your job experience on the actual application itself. And this is just a really great way for you to show Disney the personality traits that you have and how well using those personality traits would allow you to be a successful cast member during the Disney College program. There's really not much more left to say about the actual WBI. It's pretty straightforward, it's pretty simple, honestly. Like I said, it's pretty much just a personality test. They're really just getting to look forward to getting to know you as a person. They just want to know more about who you are and if your characteristics match up with the characteristics that they're looking for in one of their cast members. I know that the WBI can seem kind of scary, especially because of the fact that a lot of people know that they have what it takes to work at Disney, and you're kind of putting this next phase of the process into the hands of a computer system. And a lot of people believe that if you would just speak to a normal human being, then you would have the ability to show how great you would actually be working for Disney, and that kind of relying on a computer to, you know, relay the message of how great you are is kind of scary. But don't let that get to you. This is very simple. Don't look at it as a test. Just look at it as showing Disney how great you actually are. It really is just asking all about you. Like I said, the biggest things to keep in mind is to try and use stronger answers for a majority of the time, but definitely be okay and feel comfortable with using the neutral or agree or disagree options, because it's totally fine to use those some of the time. Honestly, the stronger answers just make you look more confident, which is why a lot of people recommend doing that. So just keep that in mind when you are answering the stronger, you know, options, like when you have those types of questions. And then with the other types of questions, which is like the multiple choice type options, just really read through. Like I said, it is timed, but you do have plenty of time to thoroughly read through the question and each one of the answer options. Give yourself the time to actually really look at which one makes the most sense. Like I said, some of them can seem kind of similar, so really read through them and figure out which one actually does relate best to what you would do. You do have enough time, and it is just pertinent for you to do that because you want to make sure that you're actually showing who you truly are. Honestly, the WBI is very simple. It's about you, and if you're just being honest, then you will avoid any type of inconsistency or mishap, and that is the best way to be successful during your web-based interview. So they're all my biggest tips. I know that this probably wasn't a very long or lengthy or kind of informative video. There probably wasn't much that I even said. I stopped a lot to cough and drink my water, so I can't even remember what I actually said. But like I mentioned, there's not really much to say because it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, it's about you, so just be honest and you'll be okay. But that is pretty much it. I know that I mentioned multiple times how simple it is and all of that, but there are some things that might trip you up, which might unfortunately make you not pass. So I don't want to see that happen to you. That is why I'm sharing these tips and tricks. So if you use any of these things that I mentioned throughout the video, I honestly think that that will give you the best chance that you have to move forward to the next and final stage, which is the phone interview. So good luck with everyone that is applying for the upcoming Disney College program semester. I know applications will be coming out shortly, so good luck with that. I cannot wait to see all of the amazing things that people will be accomplishing on their upcoming semester that's currently about to start, and I can't wait to see all of the people that will be attending next semester. So I really hope that these tips and tricks helped you out with your application, and I can't wait to see you guys all soon. Be sure to look out for my next upcoming video, which will be all about the phone interview, and then every other Disney related video that I will be coming out in the future. So have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this, and good luck with your application. Bye!